Stanford University.
And Tyler is going to talk to us about emotions and linguistics.
Oh, you think you're big enough to make me, you little wimp? Come on, come over and make me. I dare you. You little fruitcake. You little fruitcake. I said you are a fruitcake. That's Pete Stark back in 2003, the sole Democrat in a committee room filled with Republicans, one of whom has told him to shut up. Understanding expressions of emotion means understanding how people take collections of linguistic resources and use them to position themselves, their audiences, and their topics relative to each other. My dissertation looks at how we can approach questions of affect, questions that might seem hopelessly qualitative, with quantitative methods. It has 3 parts. I'll talk about 2. The word little can be insulting, you little fruitcake. It can also be a hedge. Can I have a little water? And it can also be affectionate. Look at your little toes. Using experimental data, I show how various factors contribute to predictions of confidence, likability, emotional intensity, and positivity and negativity. Building on previous work from crowdsourcing, I recruit and run over 1,300 subjects. Now, as my first example shows, we have to deal with the issue of power at some point. And I do this not just through the experiments, but also looking at large-scale corpora of natural language conversations with very clear power differentials. So, for example, in over 72 hours of computer science meetings, pretty much everyone uses the word little. But it's people at the extreme ends of the education spectrum that use it the most, but they do it differently. So the professors use it to target other people. Just add a little note over there. While the people with an undergraduate education use it to target themselves. It was a little hard to understand. This is how power gets reiterated. I also look at gender across 5 different corpora. And at a course level, women do use little more than men, but that really misses the point. Because the fact is that there's such significant interactions between speaker and audience and topic. And if we control for topic, it turns out that really men and women use little at about the same rate. But there are some exceptions. For example, in topics of terrorism and fitness. And I show how these are connected to constructions of masculinity and femininity relative to emotional regulation. Another part of my dissertation basically offers the most comprehensive study of emoticons ever undertaken. Or at least, that's what it looks like. But what I'm really doing is describing the emotional universe of Twitter using 4 million tweets from 100,000 different authors. Anyone who wants to describe affect has to do something with positive and negative, and those emerge as important dimensions in Twitter as well, but they're not adequate. We need other things. For example, immediacy. So does someone say the very direct, I'm sad? Or do they take the more distant stance of, and then they took it away, hashtag sad face? So we also need these dimensions like flirting and teasing, which are also positional. So consider teasing, for example. So in teasing, you take something that's conventionally negative and you create something potentially positive like familiarity. In conclusion, emotions that are expressed are not just internal states made visible. They position people. And in so doing, they reflect, create, and change relationships. Thank you.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.